back with the family members of 3 9/11 victims. Deborah Burlingame, I want to turn back to you because as I was reading through some of the editorials, there were so many reasons why bringing Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and some of his conspirators with him to New York City to be tried is not a good idea. But the number one thing that flew out at me was, we're not guaranteed a conviction, are we, like Eric Holder says we are?
I've talked to prosecutors inside the Department of Justice, the National Security Division. They don't want to be named because it could affect their careers. They are deeply concerned that the evidence is not, that would be available in military commissions will not be admissible at trial in federal court because, for one thing, none of these guys were Mirandized, and the tutorial that Khalid Sheikh Mohammed gave to his interrogators will not be admissible. People think that because he was down there at the CSIRT, the military tribunals, the Gitmo processes, you know, saying I'm the terrorist to the bone.
Right, he admitted to everything.
But he didn't have an attorney. Under the 6th Amendment, you must have an attorney who would have advised him to be quiet. And so none of that, even though we all know about it, will be admissible in federal court. And what people need to understand is, in the civilian system, he will be entitled to represent himself. All of the classified information that would have gone to a security-cleared defense attorney will have to go directly to him. He will be entitled to, the terrorist, will be able to call all of his interrogators, know who they are, find out who the foreign governments were, who the covert agents were. He'll have to get it all, and if they don't want to give it to him, none of that will go into the trial.
Jim, does any of this information that Deborah is saying make you nervous, then, that we may not see a conviction here?
You know what? I was down there and I spoke to the military law, the attorneys that were trying the case, and Obama and Holder and them. We spoke to them. All us had mountains of evidence beside the torture evidence, beside the confessions that they've already made, and that they felt very confident that they could win the case. I have to take them at their word for that. We shook his hand there. He promised us justice, and we'll hold him accountable 4 years from now. And I feel that the case is strong against them, and hopefully, you know, I would not want to see an acquittal. And they're basing that, their expertise on the task force. They looked over the case. They said that these people attacked civilians, so they put it in the civilian courts. I don't know if it's right or wrong. We'll find out, but I'm going to hold them accountable.
Charles, it seems to me like this would be such a risk to take. I mean, on the one hand, you have, yes, they want to close Gitmo. So then they bring it here, but what if this thing doesn't work out?
Well, I don't believe that the guy will actually go free, okay? But it'll make us look like a fool. And to bring it here into New York City, it's not that I don't have any kind of feeling that the New York City Police Department can't handle the situation. However, you are going to give them a platform on which to espouse their views. Look what happened with Moussaoui and how many times he fired his attorneys and he let his attorneys come back and he manipulated the system. And Khalid Sheikh Mohammed is a very smart man.
He was educated here in the U.S.,
and
by the way.
he will manipulate the system. He will manipulate the system, and we will be bound to let it happen because of the fact that we have such an upstanding justice system.
Right. Deborah, the final word.
They're going to put the government on trial because the evidence is so bad against him, if we can get it into evidence. The fact is, this is going to take so long to prepare these cases. They're going to have to start from scratch. The military went through 538,000 pieces of evidence. All of that will have to start over. It will be years before they seat a jury. When it goes sideways, we won't be able to hold Obama accountable. He'll be gone. I want to hold Khalid Sheikh Mohammed accountable, and I want to do it now. I don't want him pontificating while we have men and women at war dying for us to kill al-Qaeda and capture them, while this guy can rally his jihadi brothers from ground zero, the site of their greatest victory. Talk about a recruiting poster.
Thank you so much for the passionate discussion this morning. Appreciate all of your time.